What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 130 for Saturday, January 14, 2023. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always with my dude Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm back from the dead.
Yeah.
Not dead, I just had a baby, so I've been gone for a while.
Might as well be dead.
No, it's a good time. Like, I'm happy, kid's good, don't want to get sappy, but I love this kid already. Doesn't like looking down at him, seeing someone who half looks like me, half looks like the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. It's a good time. But not a lot of time to play video games, though, except for some things we'll go into in a little bit. But let's start where you always start, man. Tell the people what you've been playing.
So there was a big Steam sale going on
Yup.
during a little hiatus there. And of all the games that I could have picked up, I picked up one that I'd never heard of, and it was like $2, called Tiny Rogues.
Yup.
Now, the reason I picked it up was because, well, first of all, it was cheap, but also it was like overwhelmingly positive on both like the recent score and the like overall score. So I was like, okay, I'll look at this. It's cheap, whatever. And dude, this game is awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like it's hard to explain, man. It's a roguelike, obviously by the title, but it's also like an RPG, twin stick shooter, bullet hell, like all of the above. It's like Binding of Isaac, but you can like shoot in all directions, and there's just a lot more.
It looks like Binding of Isaac mixed with like 20 Minutes Till Dawn.
Yeah, kind of, but it's like room based though. It's room based, so
Okay.
you after you clear a room, you get a choice of like two other rooms. It tells you, hey, this room is gonna have a chest that's locked, or this room is gonna have a strength upgrade. And you have stats too. So you have strength, you have dexterity, and you've got intelligence. And the higher those go, there's like stat scaling for like all the weapons that are all strength based and dexterity based. So if you have like a ranged character, you're gonna want to get your dexterity up because it increases the stat scaling of your like dexterity based weapons.
Yeah.
But also, like even if you're a mage character, you still want to get like your strength up because it does increase your like attack damage, or I think intelligence increases your like critical rate, stuff like that. So it gives you like, you're thinking of like your character build at all times during your playthrough. And
This looks dope.
Yeah, it's got like tons of unique weapons. There's a dodge mechanic, so if you like, your dodge gives you a certain amount of invincibility frames, and again, your dodge scales with your dexterity. So if you have a lot of dexterity, you get more dodges that you can do consecutively.
I like that.
There's like armor, so if you wear armor, if you're like a high armor class, you get more bars of armor, and your armor goes down instead of your health if you have it. There's just so much. This game does so much incredibly well, and it's still early access too.
Yeah.
They're saying like by the end of 2023 is when they expect to be done with it. But I'm like, dude, there's already enough content here that you can just release this game right now and have like a great time.
That CRT filter is kind of iffy with me, at least.
So the CRT,
yeah, I see it here, yeah, but like in the gameplay trailers and stuff, it's there.
It's so the thing about the CRT filter is it's a slider, so you can slide it up and down, and then you can either let's have it all the way off or like slide it up a little bit and have like a certain amount of effects. Slide it up all the way and have all the effects. So it's a slider, which is the first time I've seen a slider for one of these, because usually it's just like an on-off thing.
Yeah.
But this is like a slider, so you can kind of
I
just
like
slide
that.
it. Yeah.
This looks dope as hell. You're gonna find out later. I've been playing a lot of 20 Minutes Till Dawn.
Yeah.
And anything that like gives you that same vibe, I'm into, and that looks like what this is doing.
This game is so fucking good. There's
Yeah.
There's 10 floors, and each floor has a boss, and there's 2 different bosses on each floor. So you might not see all the bosses on one playthrough, or even like 2 playthroughs, because it's just random. So, and then like all the boss fights are unique, and all the like the music is fucking dope, and like it's just so good. I think it's just one guy who's working on this.
This is incredible, dude. I'm into this. This is like ticking all my boxes for me. I think I'll pick this
Yeah,
up now.
but it's like um they really hone in on those like RPG mechanics though, which is like I think what differentiates this from like most other roguelikes is because it's so like stat based. You want to like dive into your stats and really see what you've got going on, to where like you pick
Hey,
up a
with that, I
weapon.
love fucking with stats.
Yeah, you'll see a weapon, you'll be like, oh shit, this is gonna like change the way I play, because this like scales completely differently than like there's a bunch of like status effects like poison and shit. And then like every time I think it's like every 5 or 10 levels you get to choose a permanent uh like stat bonus or something, and it'll be something like, hey, every time you put potions are permanent, so every time you drink a potion it lasts forever, which usually it lasts like 5 or 10 rooms. It'll be like, hey, this lasts forever, and you just, okay, now I'm just drinking every potion I run into because it's forever. And then it'll be like, hey, status effects. Every status effect that you put on an enemy, you do 10% more damage. So you're just stacking status effects. Like, okay, I'm gonna get fire, I'm gonna get lightning, I'm gonna get cold, I'm gonna get poison, and then you're just doing tons of damage like that. So
I love it.
it's
I
like
love it.
it's super cool. It's super
This
cool.
is like ticking all of my boxes, dude. It's
Yeah,
ticking all of my boxes. I love this.
yeah.
Ooh, I'm into this, dude. I'm into this. It's on Steam right now. Yeah, it's on early access. It's like only like how much is it
It's
right now?
it's like $6, I think.
$6. Yeah, that sounds like a great deal. That was like a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
That
So
sounds good. I'm into it, dude. It's like Gunfire Reborn is like super similar, but it's like a first person shooter. So this is just like
yeah.
anything that like does that, I'm into. Like I love that. I love stuff like that.
Uncle Dolph is in the chat. What's up?
What up, Dolphy boy? What you doing, Dolph Man, Dolph Master, Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah, so like where I'm at in it right now, I've beaten the game with like most of the classes. There's still one class I haven't unlocked because it's like super fucking random.
Yeah,
Uh but I've beaten it with most of the classes, and then like once you beat it with like a certain amount, you start unlocking like more shit. So Death is the like ultimate, like he's the last boss. Then you unlock Ultra Mega Death or some shit like that, and it's just so fucking difficult. Like the game's actually not. It's not that. It's pretty easy compared to most of these. Like
yeah.
it's not too hard, but once you start unlocking Ultra Death, it's ridiculous. It gets ridiculous. So
I'm sure with the other updates they're adding more like stat effects and like
yeah,
weapons and upgrade options. Like it's gonna scale pretty well.
yeah. The dev's been pretty responsive in those like
That's good.
Steam comments. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make it harder. He's already put in some like modes where you can like opt into like harder shit, and it'll give you more points based on how hard you choose to make it.
I love
So
that.
it does have that, but it's already some of the classes are like more difficult to start. Like the cleric, I think, is garbage, dude. The
Yeah.
cleric just starts with like he starts with a book that just like orbits around him, and it's just so hard to like hit anything. And he doesn't do much damage. It's like he's garbage. So,
I gotta
but
ask, does it have multiplayer? Or is it a single player game?
it's single player only.
Okay, that's fine with me. Like,
Yeah,
still looks
multiplayer
fun as
would be
hell.
good. Multiplayer would be good, but I think they're not planning on that right now. Yeah, but it's
This
dope,
looks
man.
good.
It's dope.
Yeah, it's on
So
my wish list. I'm gonna check this shit out.
check it out. It's Tiny Rogues. Tiny Rogues. In
You're
Steam.
also playing that Chinese adventure game, right? Breakout 13.
Yeah, so I loaded up Breakout 13. So we tried to play that during the
The demo derby
yeah,
we
during the
did as
last
well.
demo derby we tried to play it, but it didn't have subtitles.
Yeah,
So we couldn't do any. I was like, this looks interesting, but I'll just wishlist it for now. And yeah, it finally released. I think it's also pretty cheap. I think it was like $12, and what you get is a pretty decent FMV game. It's like it's really cool, because what you want out of an FMV game, you don't want it to like take itself too seriously. And
Yeah.
so the guys who were making this knew what they were making. It's about a like Chinese kids who are like addicted to video games, and they're addicted to the internet. So their parents send them to this like super militarized school to kind of heal them. But what they don't know is it's like a torture place to kind of like torture it out of them. So
Oh Jesus.
the whole game is about trying to escape this place or try to expose them or whatever, but you don't realize that they're like in the pockets of the surrounding cities and stuff like that. So like even if you do get out, you're still in it. So it's longer than I expected, because like the first couple chapters, you're like building up to this huge like escape, and then yeah, you come to find out that there is no escape. But during that, like I only played like 3 or 4 chapters, and as you play, you realize, oh, these guys know what they're making, because the kid uses an N-Gage. Like he whips out an N-Gage and goes like, yeah, this is real gaming right here. And I was like, no, it's not. No one fucking plays with an N-Gage, dude. Not in 20 whatever the fuck this game's supposed to take place. And the way he talks is like he's trying to escape, but you're like, this kid does not. You belong here, kid. Because he's like, you're nothing but an NPC, but I'm gonna say goodbye to you anyway. And it's like, it's like, yeah, no, this kid belongs here. You should not be allowed to escape.
I'm looking at the game here, and it's like $10 on Steam.
Yeah,
and the production value for the full motion video scenes is like way better than you would expect for like a $10 game.
yeah, it's pretty good. Once you actually start playing, you're like, okay, there's like, you can see the budget in it. It's not very like, the translation's not very good. The subtitles aren't very like readable at times. The audio is very inconsistent. Like you can tell like they just recorded or like re-recorded or whatever. It's inconsistent at times, but it doesn't matter. It's still like pretty good for what it is. Like $10, you can't really go wrong. So I only played it for a little bit, but it's very funny. Like it's what you want out of an FMV game, which is just like cheesy. It's humorous, but also it's just entertaining, really. So
yeah, I'm into it, man. Like this looks dope. Like it's another one. It's only $10, so like, you know.
yeah. Here he is playing an N-Gage in the in the video now. It's like, where did you even find this, guys?
I gotta say, like, his headphones look kind of older. Like, does this take place in like modern day or?
It's modern day, because it starts out with him playing like being like a Call of Duty lord or something like that. Like, you know, he's like a big gamer, and then they'd send him off to this
Engaged
fucking
though.
place,
Like that's funny.
Yeah. Where the fuck did you
That's
find
funny.
this N-Gage? Yeah, it's pretty good. And then there's points where it like drops into like a first person mode, where you have to like investigate the environment and look for clues and stuff like that. So, you know, it's definitely an FMV game. In that regard, it's not just, you're not just watching shit. You can make choices, and there's like relationship ranks with some of the different NPCs. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, we don't get a lot of FMV games anymore, so
Yeah,
this looks cool. It's $10, so go check it out, everybody.
yeah.
Then Darksiders Warmastered. I haven't played Darksiders in a minute.
Yeah, I decided to play some Darksiders because I never finished that game, and on my PC, whenever I try to load that game up, it just doesn't fucking work. So
Oh yeah,
I've been playing it on my GPD device, and it does really well over there. So
that's good.
um, that game's super fun, man. I
Yeah, it's not
remember,
bad.
yeah, I remember playing it on like PS3 and shit, and just never finishing it. So
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like it's God of War, Legend of Zelda, Portal, but it doesn't do what those games do just as well. But the fact that it's all together is
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a good time still. It's a good time.
yeah. And I realize that I'm still like super nostalgic for that era of video game. Like that's probably where my like nostalgia ends. Is like it probably like my nostalgia probably starts with Super Nintendo and then peaks with N64 and GameCube and then kind of ends with PS3. So there's just a bunch of PS3 360 era games
Oh, your
that
nostalgia goes up to like seventh gen then.
yeah, yeah, where I'm like, man, I remember playing these and I remember the way these games looked. Just the gray fucking mess of
Yeah.
sloshy textures and shit like that. And I don't know, there's something about that era that I'm
Well,
still
it's a era for sure, man. Because like it's easy to forget the PS3, 360, Wii. That seventh generation of console started like 2005, 2006.
yeah,
So it's easy to forget that like that shit's long enough ago. You can be nostalgic for it.
yeah. So there was a bunch of games that I don't know, I got nostalgia after playing Darksiders. I was like, man, I should like load up PlayStation Now and see what's on there, you
Yeah.
know, because I don't know, I was dying to play some Metal Gear Solid 4 again for some reason. Like
Oh
that shit.
man, that's a
Like
good one.
I played that game like 20 times before the trophies ever came out, and then when the trophies came out, I started a playthrough, but never like finished a full one. So I want to get the trophies in that game, and get what I fucking have earned before the trophies were out. Uh, yeah, it's like that. It's like that platinum game, Anarchy Reigns. For some reason I was thinking about that. I was like, fuck, man, I want to
She
play
always
that.
talk shit about that.
It's a terrible game. It's a terrible game, but again, it's just I'm just nostalgic for that like era. It had me thinking about it. Like, man, I just want to play this shit. Like Lollipop Chainsaw, which they're remaking that, so we'll be able to play that at least. It's the games that never got a re-release on anything else that you can only play on PS3 and 360. Like those are ones that I was thinking about the most. And I
Oh
was
yeah, for
like,
sure.
I could emulate them, but if they're on PlayStation Now, I'll do it that way. Um, yeah, just stuff like that. I just kind of just wanted to, I don't know, get back into.
I
But
hear that too. There's a ton of games I'm like, I got my old PS3 here and I keep looking at it and I'm like, fuck, I want to boot that up and play like Tokyo Jungle, like hasn't gotten re-released on
yeah,
me. And I'm like, fuck, like I'm getting nostalgic for those games too, because like you can't play them on anything. It sucks.
yeah,
Like but the fact that Metal Gear Solid 4 is still stuck on PS3, the fact that all the Metal Gear Solid games haven't gotten a re-release on modern systems is like a fucking crime, dude. It's a sin.
it's a bummer.
Huge bummer. God, I'm looking through a list of like PS3 games stuck on PS3, and it's like Heavenly Sword, Resistance, Infamous,
Yeah,
Tokyo Jungle. Puppeteer's another one that like nobody played, but it's still a fun game.
yeah, because
Damn.
it's like most of those, a lot of them are on PlayStation Now. Like most of the exclusives are on PlayStation Now, so you could like
Yeah.
stream them, but it's not the best way to do it. But if you had a PS3 and you had save files that were in the cloud, all of those are still on PlayStation Now, so you could like just
Yeah.
load that up and resume right where you left off, which is really cool.
That is really cool. Man. I'm gonna boot up my old PS3 now. Play some games, man. I've been playing quite a few games. You'll notice most of them have been like Switch games or like mobile games because I have a kid now, so I
Oh
can't
yeah,
exactly sit down at my desk, put on my headphones and just game all night like I used to.
Yeah.
The last game I did make an exception though to play High on Life for a little bit. That's on Game Pass. I played it. I want to say a day or two after it came out. And it's fucking incredible. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Now I will be honest, this is the kind of game I did look up reviews on it after I played through it. I didn't beat it yet, but I feel like I like it. And I've noticed a lot of reviews are like people either love the game or they fucking hate the game. And honestly, it all comes down to like your sense of humor. It's written by Justin Roiland. It's from Swatch Games, the Rick and Morty guy. Um, and if you don't like that kind of humor, that kind of oddball, off the wall, borderline improvisational, repetitive kind of comedy, you're not gonna like this game. Like this game's not for you. I'm sorry, but what it is, this is a perfect example of a game that not everybody's gonna like, but a lot of people are gonna love, and I'm one of those people that love it.
Okay.
It's a first person shooter. It's a fun first person shooter with really odd, funny elements. Start the game out as this kind of your sister calls you a loser, and the game starts out with you playing a video game alone in your room, so probably. But your planet Earth gets invaded by aliens who are trying to catch you, harvest you, and sell you on the black market as drugs. I guess humans are drugs to the rest of the galaxy. And you work with this sentient gun called a Gatling, who tries to walk you through the process of taking your planet back, becoming a bounty hunter, and killing this cartel. And it's so goddamn fun. All the guns talk; they're constantly talking. If you don't like that, all right, that's a red flag that you might not like this game, because they don't shut up. But that's what they say is funny, so I'm okay with it. But there is an option to turn down how often they talk during gameplay, but they talk a lot during the actual game too, like cutscenes and stuff. A lot of cutscenes are them just talking, but the jokes are legit, like really, really fucking funny. I don't want to spoil any of them, but they're fucking great. Like there are some that legit just got me fucking dying. The game's very subversive and knows it's a video game, so it kind of plays with that a little bit. If you try to like speed run something and like glitch your way into like an area that's supposed to, the game will call you out on it. The characters will be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, we worked really hard to like have this game play in a sequential order, and you're fucking it up. Um,
That's cool.
it is cool, and all the guns are super cool. I got up to this. I can't remember her name, but she's basically the Needler from Halo, but she's more accurate than the Needler. And there's actually a button you can do to like trigger the explosion. So you could do that on your own whenever you want to. It's fucking awesome. Dude, this game is fucking great. Like it's got a great voice cast. If you love internet humor, it's got all kinds of people, dude. Fucking Psychic Pebbles is in here. Michael Cusack is in here. Justin Roiland obviously is in here. So there's a ton of shit here that's great, and the humor is fucking hilarious, man. There's some funny shit in here that I was not expecting. But again, it's not everyone's style of humor, so maybe watch a trailer or something of it to see if that humor kind of jives with you before you pick it up. But it's a fun game. It's legit a really fun shooter. It's fucking hilarious, and I recommend it. I want to get back into it. I really, really do want to get back into it, and maybe one day when the baby schedule starts to get a little bit more regular, starts to sleep through the night, I might be able to actually get back into this game and finish it off one day. But it's a fucking blast, dude. I'm still playing Pokemon Scarlet. I know, regardless of like some of the glitches, performance issues, I'm still having a fucking blast with this game. It's mechanically, I think, one of the better Pokemon games to come out in the last like couple of years. The terrestrializing system is so much fun. It does a lot to actual battle mechanics, and it's a gimmick that I hope actually sticks around because it changes your Pokemon's type on the fly. So that's fucking cool. So Pokemon that have like a huge type weakness, you can eliminate it, or maybe Pokemon that it lets you get really creative with your team. I'm not gonna like spoil too much options here, but it's fun. And despite some of the gameplay hiccups, some of the performance hiccups, it's still a really fun game. And if you like Pokemon, you'll like Pokemon Scarlet. I think. I don't think there's a lot that's gonna turn you off of that. Next game I really, really, really want to talk about. Fucking 20 Minutes Till Dawn, dude.
Yes.
This game is incredible, man. So I started playing it after my son was born because I was stuck in the hospital with my wife while she was recovering, right? And I had my Switch on me, but it's like it's a very engaged type of game. Like the games I have on my Switch. So I couldn't so having to pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. It was kind of annoying. So I was like, I want something that I can just pick up and put down pretty frequently without like losing too much progress or like getting too annoyed with it. And so 20 Minutes Till Dawn was on the App Store. That's where I'm playing it on is mobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So there's a mobile version. There's two versions of it. There's a free version that has ads that play. So the ads are very non-intrusive with the free version. I want to talk about that really quick. When you boot up a level, you could start with some upgrades if you watch a 30-second ad. It'll give you 2 upgrades to start with. So there's some incentive there to watch some ads. And you could also, when you die, you could watch an ad to come back. I think you only get that option once. And every time you level up, you can watch an ad to like re-roll your upgrades. So, and the ads aren't long. The longest ad I've seen is like 30 seconds. So it's not too intrusive. I think it's a good way to get into it. If you want to try the game out, the free version is a good way to start. But if you like what you're playing, buy the game. It's only $3 this game. So if you like what you're playing, just buy the game. Because the progress you make in the free version does not carry over. But what I want to talk about is the game now. It's a horde shooter, kind of like Vampire Survivors. You know, the goal is to survive 20 minutes. You kill guys, get experience, you can level up. But the builds in this game are fucking crazy, dude. They're fucking crazy. My build right now, I'm playing as a what's her name? The chick with like 7 hit points. I can't remember her name. But she got the highest hit points in the game. I pick her and I pick the buff that starts you with half my HP, but I do like extra damage, have increased fire rate for the rest of the round. So I start with that with a shotgun. And the reason why, because the shotgun only has 2 shots. You fire twice, you got to reload. And there's an upgrade when you level up that lets you smite people. That smites all enemies within a certain radius for 20 damage every time you fire your last shot. So a shotgun, 1, 2, reload. I'm smiting people. And there's upgrades for that where if you smite 500 guys, you get to expand your health 1 slot, and there's another one that lets you heal yourself when you smite 5 guys. There's another one that lets you do more damage for the more health you have. So that becomes my main damage dealer as I'm using it to like heal myself and expand my health pool. And there's another upgrade that lowers my shots available to 1, but I reload like twice as fast and I fire twice as fast. So I'm like, shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot, reload. Every time I do that, I'm smiting motherfuckers. And that's been my main build through this whole run through. But there's a couple other ones. There's that chick that drops lightning every 2 shots. So strap her with some machine guns and you're fucking dropping lightning on dudes. And mix that with like the Electro Mage upgrade that increases your lightning damage and expands how much lightning drops you do while you're shooting, regardless whether you hit guys or not. It's oh my god, it's insane, dude. I wish I had the time to like really talk about some of the builds here, but it's fucking crazy the shit this game lets you do, man. You can get some dirty, nasty, disgusting builds out here if you're patient enough. And every time you finish a round of 20 minutes, you unlock a level of darkness. And each level of darkness is like a difficulty modifier. Some of them do things like make enemies faster, have enemies take more hits, have enemies deal more damage, and they stack every level that you get. But in return, you get more experience when you finish up those levels. So like you're constantly pushing to like go harder, go longer, survive that 20 minutes. Maybe refine if you got a build that's working for you, maybe refine it, like figure out ways you could like trim the fat off of it to make it more efficient, more effective. Stuff synergizes very, very fucking well in this game. Oh my god, dude, this game is incredible, man. It's incredible. I love this. and it handles pretty well on mobile, surprisingly. Like it's a really good pick up and play game. You know, you pick it up, you can play it, something comes up, pause it, go deal with that, come back, pick up where you left off. It's really good. I fucking love this game, dude. I cannot stress enough how great this game is. It's on Steam, iOS, the Android store, fucking $3. Go pick it up. This is an incredible game. Um, you play through the game. The reason I picked it up actually was because of your recommendation. You're talking about how much better it is than Vampire Survivor.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what got me into it. I have to agree, dude. This is Vampire Survivor done right. I fucking love this game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Vampire Survivors, but I like that you can, actually aim your shit in
Oh
this.
yeah, you can actually aim your shit. It's a twin stick shooter, so you're actually
Yeah.
aiming it. It's not you don't have attacks on rotation on a timer like you do with Vampire Survivor. So you're actually aiming your shots. There's an extra level of like depth there for that. And it's good, dude. It's so fucking good. And there's so many different characters that provide all kinds of like crazy different abilities and benefits. And they have
Yeah.
their own upgrade trees. Every time you kill a boss, you get an exclusive upgrade for that character. Each character has, I think, like 3 or 4 exclusive upgrades. And with this girl that I was talking about, the one with the extra health pool, she has upgrades that like every time you take damage, you get a permanent increase to your reload speed and your fire rate. And every time you heal yourself for damage, you get a permanent upgrade to your bullet size and bullet damage. And you combine that with the character who already has a huge health pool, so I can afford to take some hits and keep on going. And with the build I'm running, it basically heals me and expands my health pool. Like fuck, dude. Like everything, it synergizes so well. I love games that let me do that. That like let me make my own build, and with the mechanics available, let me synergize those mechanics together in a way that I want to like break the game. I like games that let me do that. That let me break it, and that's what this game does. It does it very, very fucking well,
Yeah.
and it doesn't oversize welcome. Each round is only 20 minutes, and there's an option if you don't get that time to do a 10-minute round if you want, where you don't get any achievements, but you still get experience points and you still get points to currency to like do some permanent upgrades I haven't even talked about yet. And it's
Yeah.
fucking dope, dude. It's
I think
so good.
the other thing about this that I like better than Vampire Survivors is that starting out is a lot more fun than
Oh yeah,
Vampire Survivor, because Vampire Survivors takes a while to get to the fun. Like even when I started playing Vampire Survivors, it took me a while to be like, what? Why do people fucking like this?
dude.
Like
Same. It
it
took me like
just
3, 4 runs to like for it to click with me. But this, on my first run, I was like, this game is incredible.
yeah, it's instant for this because you just get
Yeah,
so much stuff to play with out the gate. Um, yeah, so if you're like on the fence, there is like so this does have like a free version. It has on Steam. It's called 10 Minutes to Die,
oh
which is
yeah.
like a little free like pseudo demo version. It's like it's got content in and of itself in that version too, but even the 20 minutes to die it's pretty cheap on its
It's
own.
three
So
dollars. It's three
yeah,
dollars. So that's
so
why I recommend it. If you guys got phones, right? Like just try the try the mobile version. The free version's great to get into because you watch that, you get to start with upgrades, which can kind of give you an idea. Like it kind of speeds along like the fun because then you could like see what upgrades there are, and it starts with 2. So if you unlock how can I word it? So if you unlock an upgrade, you get like one of the tiers for it too on top of it. So if you do like the Electro Mage upgrade, you can get either the lightning bug that lets you drop extra lightning, or it might roll with the one that lets you reload your ammo every time, every a 20% chance to reload your ammo when you hit a guy with lightning. So you get to see not just the like ability, the upgrade ability, but also like the next step from that. So you can start with a pretty noticeable power boost and kind of see what the game's about. And it encourages you, it really speeds on the process of like finding your build. Because again, when you level up, you have an option to watch an ad and re-roll it. So if you don't like the upgrade list you got, watch a 30-second ad, re-roll, and it gives you a chance to like get to that build you want faster and experiment a little bit better because you're not stuck totally to the RNG. And again, if you like what you play through it, you're like, this game's incredible. Just stop playing the free version, go buy it because the progress doesn't carry. I made that mistake. The progress doesn't carry over. So I hit like Darkness 15, unlocked all the characters, unlocked all the upgrades, and I was gonna buy the game lets you buy like maps and characters, but each character map's like $1. And the game's only $3. You get everything. So I was like, I'd be stupid like not to just buy the game already. But unfortunately I had to start the whole game over again. So don't make that mistake. If you like it, just buy it. It's $3 and it's fucking incredible. But again, if you're not sure if this is for you, try the free version out. You can try 10 Minutes Till Dawn on Steam, or if you have a phone, try the free version of it on your phone and see if you like it. And if you like it, go buy it because it's fucking worth it.
I like that the games we talked about today are all pretty cheap. So
yes, they're all super cheap except for Pokemon Scarlet. Like that's Pokemon Scarlet, and I'm about to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles in a little bit. Those are not cheap. But High on Life is on Game Pass. 20 Minutes Till Dawn, $3 game. Darksiders Warmastered, that's always on sale for like super cheap. Another game I got into. So I got into this actually at a recommendation from a random YouTuber. Okay, so there's this random YouTuber that like YouTube recommended to me. He's got some pretty small views, so go send him some love. He's called Infinite Combo Reviews. He reviews a ton of different games. He doesn't really have like a specific type of game he does. But he reviewed this game called Rampage Knights. That's the review that got recommended to me on YouTube. It's a roguelike beat 'em up. And it's fucking incredible, dude. It's I don't even know how to get into it right now because it's so crazy. But so it's a roguelike beat 'em up, which fucking merges very well. I think I've played a roguelike beat 'em up before. But this does it and it merges very, very well. So basically some dude you're hanging out with your buddy, and some guy some fucking wizard soldier shows up, steals all your goodies, takes into his castle. So now you gotta go in and get your shit back. And what's cool about the game is that there's a ton of different options of stuff that can happen to you, a ton of different weapons, armor upgrades, and the game gives you quests. So it gives you quests like, oh, kill a giant enemy, and deal X amount of points of damage, which you can do on multiple runs. So if you can't do it on one run, you can keep playing it till you do the quest. And if you do enough quests, you unlock a new class, and each class has a different gimmick. Like I don't the base adventure character doesn't really have anything special with them. They're regular attacks, regular all middle of the range like stats, right? But the first class you can unlock after that is the barbarian, which starts out with like a big two-handed sword. They're a little bit slower, but they do more damage, have a little bit more health. But they can't wear armor. So any armor you find you can't equip, but you already have such a high like defense value, maybe it doesn't matter. Um, there's another one that I can unlock called a battle mage that lets me cast spells. Instead of rolling, I have an option to cast spells for free that doesn't cost like that I don't have to take up a spell slot for. It's it's a lot of fun. I'm barely scratching the surface with it, but it's a fucking blast, dude, what I was playing through. It's a fun, violent, kind of gory, nasty looking beat 'em up. And the game's really ugly, but that's kind of on purpose, kind of the charm of it. It's supposed to be like a really ugly game, and it's so much fun. It's got multiplayer, so check it out. I got it on Steam for like $6, dude. It's like a normal like a $10, $15 game. And it's worth it. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun. I love this game already. It's hard as balls, so like prepare to get into that, but it's fun, dude. It's a really fun game to play through. And I like it. Again, I didn't think like beat 'em ups and I didn't think like a beat 'em up roguelike would work as well as it does, but it does with this one. So go check this out, dude. It's a lot of fun. That's where I'm playing it also on Switch. But I'm sure you can get it on Steam or whatever else. Um, Last game I want to talk about, and this one I've been excited to play for a while, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the long-awaited final installment to the Xenoblade trilogy. And this game, I keep saying it, but this game's fucking incredible too, dude. Like, shit. So here's the thing with Xenoblade. Xenoblade is a kind of game where you either love it or you hate it. I think, you know. Um, but basically the gameplay, it's a real time RPG with MMO style combat. But the gimmick is that it's a single player game. So each character is divided into a separate class: healer, which is your healer; attacker, which is your DPS your DPS class; and defender, which is your tank class. Their job is to like pull aggro from people, defend all your hits, while the healer keeps the tank running, right? Like an MMO. But you control your entire party simultaneously. And there's a ton of like cool abilities you get that can really affect how the battle flows through, and it's a lot of fun. But what I want to talk about with this game specifically, so combat is very similar to past Blade games. If you played them, you played this one. It's very similar, but what separates this game from the other games, it has a job system, dude. It has a job system, like Bravely Default or Fall Fantasy 3. So instead of like finding different blades, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had something similar where your class was determined by the blades you were using, but the blades were kind of annoying because they were on like a kind of a gotcha system. You would collect these like crystals and you would open them. You had a chance of getting like some garbage blade or like some legendary like named blade, but it's annoying because it was on a gotcha system. So you could have like all these you want to collect all the name blades, but it's annoying because you keep getting these like garbage ones instead of the named ones you want. With this, it eliminates that. Now, each character has a specific class that they are, and that determines the weapon they use. And the characters can mix and match their classes with each other. So Noah, the main character, he's like an attacker with a sword. He can equip his partners like he can equip his partner's gun staff and become a healer. But what's cool is those classes level up individually, and there are some things that carry over from one class to another. So you could like mix and match the best parts of some of those classes, their passive skills, their active skills, and make something fucking awesome with it. And it changed the way the characters look too. Again, it's a job system, like Bravely Default. And I fucking love that because it lets you customize your characters and your party the way you want. And the party has a set number of characters too. So it's 6 party members. They all have their own interesting story to go through, but they're all on the field at the same time. So it's not like passing the blade games where you have this whole cast of characters. You can only take like 3 of them into a fight with you. No, all 6 of them are in combat together all the time. There's a 7th slot for guest characters that you can find throughout the game. And those guest characters, how you unlock new classes. You do a mission for them, and they unlock new classes. There's one girl that uses dual swords. That's fucking awesome. And I made sure to use her weapon with some of my attackers so they can get some of her benefits. It's fucking great. I'm not even talking about the story, which is incredible too, but I don't want to spoil it. But basically, there's 2 civilizations that are at war with each other. They've been at war with each other for as long as everybody could remember. But what's crazy here is that these characters, these soldiers, are like born to fight. They're child soldiers. They're born to fight, but they age rapidly. They age like about 10 years, and most of them don't even make it to the full 10. But when you do, you die, and your energy gets sent back to the war effort to create more soldiers. But what's crazy about these characters is that their time is borrowed. They have a clock that they can see with how it tells them how much time they have left. Even though their lifespan's 10 years, they might not make it that far. The only way to expand your life is to kill enemies from the opposing army. And as you kill them, you add that to your clock, and that's how you make it those 10 years. So again, they're born to fight, they live to fight, but they also fight to live. Now your characters come in, they're from those different factions, right? And some sci-fi fantasy bullshit that I'm not gonna spoil happens that changes that. So now you're not on borrowed time anymore. And you're trying to dismantle this war effort, but at the same time seeing like why you guys are fighting in the first place. It's such an interesting story that I'm fucking gripped with, dude. I love it. I love it so much. and it's really cool. It's I don't want to spoil too much of it, but it's a really interesting story that asks a lot about what it means to live, what it means to be human. It's really really cool. Um, yeah, all in all, great game, dude. I wish I had a less clumsy way to end this, but it's a fucking incredible game. And
That
if you like the last two Xenoblades, you'll love this one.
that sounds like I need to play that just
It's
from that.
good, dude.
Yeah, it's I've not gotten into the Xenoblade shit yet, so I don't know.
Xenoblade's hard to get into, I'll be honest, because the problem with Monolith Software is that their games are very mechanically complex. There's a ton of systems within systems
Oh
that
yeah,
I haven't
Uncle
even
Dolph
talked
says
about
not
yet.
worth it.
It's worth it. It's a lot of fun. But the problem with Xenoblade is that it takes hours for the game to get into like its
Yeah.
mechanics.
The
Because
only one I've played is Xenoblade Chronicles X, and every time Xenoblade comes up, I bring up that game and how much it like how much you love it until it gets to a certain point, and then you hate it. At least that's what happened to me. Okay, and he
oh
says
this
that one was good. I don't believe you. The soundtrack was great. The soundtrack was great, but then once you get like the chapter 10, I remember chapter 10, everything fucking changes, and then I hated it. I was like, this sucks. So
so I'm about like 30 hours into this one, and I've just been doing a lot of side quests, like on top of the main story, and I'm
stop at
having
chapter 2. Your opinion
oh,
doesn't. So I'm sorry, but
yeah,
yeah.
how are you gonna say like it's good when you got to chapter two? Whatever. Um this game does a bit of a better job like kind of moving things along. But I didn't even know this game had like a class system or like a job system, honestly. Um, until I played through it and I unlocked it. Like it's a lot of fun though. Like it's so much fun just mixing and matching these classes. And some characters are predisposed to another class a little bit better. So each character has a certain affinity to a certain class, and it tells you it's ranked from like D to S. So the higher their affinity is, the faster they level up in that class too. So you can have each character learn every class, but you want to prioritize those ones they have an affinity to so that you can build it up faster. And again, it's not like Xenoblade 2, which had this annoying gotcha system to unlock these blades, to unlock these classes. You unlock them from playing through the story, from doing side quests. And it's cool because each class can have the time to like really feel different, do their own thing. I unlocked this like healer class, right? That's like it's like a bow staff, it's like a bow staff nunchuck combo thing. And even though it's a healer, all of its abilities rely on attacking. So like I have a healing attack that heals me for the damage I deal out, and it heals my partners around me for the damage I deal out. And so its main focus is attacking and healing. And there are some abilities that even that pierce through defenses, like they ignore defenses. So you can see why, even though it's a healer class, why might want my attacker character to learn that class. They can get some of those abilities for their attacker classes. It's the game lets you. Oh my god, my brain is swirling. Some of the shit it lets me do, and I love it for that. And again, it's a lot faster to get into than the other games. It still takes forever. I want to say, even speeding through it, I took my time with it. It took me like 6 hours before I got to like before I started to see like where this game was different from the other games. And I think it took me 10 hours to like get to the point where I'm like, okay, I think this is everything the game has to offer. At least until like I get farther in and it wants to show me some more cool shit. But I hit a point where I'm like, I'm comfortable with what I have so far. Um, about the 10-hour mark. So again, like it's not easy to get into. I will be the first one to admit Monolith has a huge problem because their games are so mechanically complex and deep of drip feeding you mechanics over the course of the game. So you can be like, I remember I was playing Xenoblade and I was like 30 hours in and I was still getting new shit. But this game does a better job kind of doing it really quickly, and it lets you get into some of that cool shit a lot faster. And the story is legitimately like really, really good. Like I don't want to spoil it, but there's some stuff in here that has got, as a Xenoblade fan, has got me like really intrigued and confused on what's going on, but in a good way. It's really, really good, and it runs very well. This game is a fucking huge open world game with continents and maps that go on as far as your eye can see, and there's multiple levels to it. It's three-dimensional, so on top of like how far you can see, what you can look up to, you can probably get up there too. The problem is that it's so big, it's like overwhelming, but it still runs really well despite Pokemon Scarlet and Violet not being able to handle their open world shit. Um, Uncle Dolph said, "Yeah, it gets so good. You just gotta drudge through the first 50 hours. Not even then, dude. Like with Xenoblade 3, I would say like the first 10 hours. Like you kind of got to force yourself through. But the story is good enough that like you'll deal with it, honestly. It's just, it's just really tricky because the game can get the game wants to hold your hand for that first chunk of it. But seriously, once you get over that first hump, you got a fucking incredibly deep, complex, rich JRPG to play through. But yeah, we've been talking for an hour about games we've been playing. Let's move on to some news, everybody.
All right.
Yeah, PlayStation announced Project Leonardo. It's a highly customizable accessibility controller kit for PS5. So similar to that Xbox accessibility like kit that we saw a couple years ago. PlayStation's got a similar one here. It's really cool. I mean, anytime there's a accessibility option for people who need them, I'm okay with it. You know,
Yeah. Well,
um,
especially since they've been actively working towards accessibility, like at least on the software side in their games.
yeah,
So it's nice
no
that they're getting into
colorblind
the
options, difficulty options for everybody. Like, it's good to see the
yeah,
hardware stuff supporting that too.
yeah,
Yeah, those of you who
and
don't know, yeah, those of you who can't see it, it's a ring with customizable buttons laid around it. You can customize, mix and match the parts however you want to fit your specific needs, and it's cool. I love seeing shit like that.
which again, when I saw, I felt this way about the Xbox One as well. I was like, man, I
Yeah.
would buy this just to have like a specialized controller for something like a rhythm game or something like a DJ Max. I would
Oh
buy something
yeah.
like this just to have like a special controller or something like I can like tailor make for just like a very specific game.
Oh yeah. You can do the same thing with this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really neat. I love seeing stuff like this. Do we have a video of what it looks like in action to like play with?
They do have a video here. I don't know if they have a lot of information on it in terms of like price and yeah, they don't really. There's people talking about it in the video. Not really. Uh, not really want to using it yet.
It's a bummer.
But that's the
That's
thing.
what the I
So
remember with the Xbox one that they had that comedian, what's his name? He had like cerebral palsy. Like they had him like playing with it, like playing fucking Killer Instinct with it, and like showing
yeah,
like how it works. Like that's what I want to see.
and what I when I look at this, I'm like, I don't know, because everything kind of looks a little too cluttered to me
A
personally.
little bit,
When I look at
yeah,
this, I mean, I don't really know what the needs of the this community are. So,
yeah,
but when I look at this, I'm like, I mean, yeah, it would be better than a controller for sure, but I think one of the things about the Xbox accessibility controller is that it has so the thing about this one is that it has four expandable ports, so you can plug in like extra buttons if you have them. But the Xbox one had every button on there had an expandable port, so you could expand it up to like 15 different accessories and add-ons. So if you
yeah.
needed
And
like
each button, you can even change the button size. So like,
yeah
let's say like there's a primary button you're using, you can have like a separate like large button the size of like your hand and
Yeah.
that's like the primary button you can like push on. But with this, I feel like it still requires you to like use your fingers to like operate.
Yeah.
But I don't
So
know. I can't really tell here with it. Like,
yeah. I would need, yeah, I would need someone who knows what they would need out of this to really say for sure. But um, it's definitely good. It's definitely an okay device. It's definitely better than having to use a controller for sure. Um,
yeah, but I want to see what it looks like in action, to see like how someone with those needs would use it. Because from what I'm seeing here, it still looks like it would be with the Xbox adaptive controller, you could see like anybody could use this.
yeah,
But with the Sony controller, I feel like there are some like accessibility options that aren't there for everybody to
yeah.
be able to use. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe once we actually start seeing some more stuff about it.
It was
Um,
just for me. It was just like the expandable options,
yeah,
because like this one only has 4 slots to add on stuff, whereas
yeah,
the Xbox controller had like 20. So and it had like one for every button. So if there was a button you couldn't access, say like you couldn't like hit like the start button or whatever, like on this wherever it is, if you couldn't hit the start button, you could at least plug something in on the Xbox controller and then put that start button like on your neck or something, so you could like hit it with your chin or something
exactly.
like
Yeah,
that. This I don't know if
yeah,
like 4 is enough, or
yeah. That's what I
if they're
mean.
gonna make you buy 2 for that level expandability. That's like I would need to see the pricing. Then I would need to see the pricing on this,
Yeah,
because that was the other thing. The Xbox controller, for as good as it might be, it's still a pretty expensive device.
yeah,
So that's the other thing about these accessibility controllers, is that they seem to be priced out of range for someone who already might be um like if you are some level of handicapped, you're already paying a lot for other accessories and other things that you might need to for whatever disability you have. It's, disabilities are very expensive. So,
yeah.
and like they already want like $90 for a fucking DualSense controller. I'm sure that this is gonna be, I don't want to say, but but I feel like this is already gonna be like they're gonna price people out for people who already have other
Yeah,
monetary.
expenses. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. I hear what you mean. So that's why it comes down to like what the price is, what it looks like. We'll see. So there's not even a release date for it yet, right? Like,
yeah, there's nothing. They just said this is
yeah,
what we're working on. I mean, it doesn't even have a name. Project
yeah,
Leonardo is not really. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see. Like when it starts to come down the pipeline, like that might be more affordable than we expected.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Speaking of PlayStation, let's keep this ball rolling. We got the PlayStation Plus game catalog lineup for January for their PlayStation Plus extra and premium games. Pretty strong list here, man. Back for
Yeah.
Blood, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange, Jet the Far Shore, Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Omno, and Erica. And then for their classic games, you got Siphon Filter 3, Star Wars Demolition, and Hot Shots Golf 2, all PS1 classics.
Bummer. That list is a bummer.
Yeah, huge bummer, especially since like their lineup already is like kind of sad. I don't even
Yeah.
think Metal Gear Solid's on there yet. Like, what the fuck? Come on, dude.
Is it
Um,
not?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it on there. Let me see.
That's a bummer. I mean, like, what do they have? Are there classics? Do they only consider PS1 to be a classic?
There's some PS2 games too, but not a lot.
Some PS2 games, because
Yeah,
yeah, like every Metal Gear Solid game should be on there, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. It's a huge bummer. I don't think like I think Tekken 3 is on there, but not 1 and 2. It's like really weird. Um, yeah, it's super weird. Like they still haven't added enough, I think, to make this like price worth it. Um, Also, the fact that like AAA games aren't coming out day one for it is like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, even Xbox is doing that, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they had like, well, I was gonna say Stray, but that's not really AAA.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's why like
and
we'll
then
see if they can make this worth it. But so far, it's like the
some of these
selection's
games,
cool.
dude, Back for Blood is not great. I
Yeah,
heard that game got better,
I did too.
but
I just haven't played it.
um, Life is Strange is whatever.
Yeah.
Jet the Far Shore is something I've been wanting to play. That's a Super Brothers game, I do believe.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I've been wanting to check that out, but I have not. I forgot about it.
Oh,
And
there you go. I don't know
Amno's
if it's
pretty
worth
good.
the cost of the subscription, but
Yeah. Erica's garbage, dude. Don't even waste your time with
yeah.
that shit. That shit is trash. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean it's an okay list. Devil May Cry is probably the best one here. Dragon Ball
Yeah, I
Fighters.
agree.
Yeah.
Then Game Pass, some bangers coming out.
Yeah.
Persona 3 Portable is coming out. Cloud Console PC January 19th. Persona 4 Golden is dropping Cloud Console PC January 19th. And Monster Hunter Rise is dropping for Cloud Console and PC January 20th.
Yeah.
Already, these are like, fuck.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all these games, for the Persona games in particular, haven't gotten a modern release in quite a while. Persona 3 Portable hasn't come off the PSP yet. This is its first release off of the PSP, and it's going to be day one on Game Pass. Persona 4 Golden is its first release off of, I think, Steam was like its first major release after the Vita,
Yeah.
and it's going to be available on Game Pass day one. Monster Hunter Rise is its first release on Xbox, and it's going to be available on Game Pass day one.
First release
So,
off of, I think first release off of Nintendo and PC.
yeah, it was Nintendo, then PC, specifically Steam. And then after that, we got Microsoft and Xbox, and then PlayStation is getting a release too. But that's not on PlayStation Plus, it's on Game Pass. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's great.
that's fantastic.
Oh, so they came out and clarified one thing about Monster Hunter Rise, and
Yeah,
that's your save file is cross compatible for every PC version. So if you have it on Steam, you can just download the Game Pass version and your save will just be there.
as great as that is, I have like hundreds of hours on Switch.
Well,
So,
see, well that's where
that's
you fucked
correct.
up. That's where you fucked up.
That's what
It's
it
because
released
like
on, bro. Get off my back. That's what it released on. Like,
yeah,
come
but
on.
like Nintendo's so notoriously bad with everything that
Yeah.
I just don't like even save compatibility between Switch systems is like bad. Uh, so yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
So
I'm gonna
that's why
wait.
like I bought it with the intention that I knew I'm playing this on Switch and probably nothing else. But the fact that it's on Game Pass, I might start it over for that. We can get a Monster Hunter stream going. That'd be fun as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, dude. So already Game Pass. Ugh, I'm more, even though PlayStation just added more games to their library, I'm more excited with what Xbox is doing. But oh well. Some quickie news. We have Xbox and Bethesda developer live stream dropping January 25th. So get ready for that. We might see some cool shit. I want to see some cool shit on Starfall. Dude, I can't wait to see
yeah.
like,
Well, they clarified exactly what's gonna be in this. They said it's gonna
oh yeah,
be Redfall. It's gonna be Forza, Minecraft, and Elder Scrolls Online.
bummer.
They said Starfield's gonna get its own separate thing later,
Okay, I'm okay with that.
which is gonna be dope because
Yeah.
I'm hoping I got my fingers crossed that they have something on the level of that Fallout 4 presentation. Did you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Their Fallout
It
4
was like, here's like a
presentation,
45-minute presentation showing off everything Far Cry 4 is gonna have.
that shit was the greatest presentation ever
Yeah.
for like anything. Because not only were people excited for the idea of Fallout 4, but when they finally came out and showed that shit, it was like, holy fucking shit, you guys not only did you get like do Fallout 4, but you did like fucking like The Sims. You did
Yeah,
like actually made it a good shooter. First of all,
yeah.
like
And it turns out that sim stuff like wasn't as prevalent in the game as we thought it was going to be. But it was still fun to play with.
it
Like it
was
was
still
still.
fun. Yeah.
It got me to pre-order it. Like when I saw that
And then
announcement.
like
So,
and then on top of all that, like the game's like released like within like that year,
yeah,
like within a couple months, and like everything in that presentation was just fucking incredible. So like I'm hoping this Starfield presentation, like they've only showed like a little bit, but I'm hoping that Starfield is my most anticipated game right now. So
game, and it's coming out day one on Game Pass, baby.
yeah, yeah. So I'm hoping that when they finally show some shit, they're gonna be like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna wet my
Yeah,
pants. Yeah.
I am ready for my jaw to drop. I put a pillow on my floor so I don't hurt myself. My jaw drop or my jaw drops. Um, but no, jokes
um,
aside, like
Redfall
I want to see.
also. I've been talking
Yeah,
shit about Redfall. Some they've came out and said some stuff about Redfall that has me a little more excited about it,
oh yeah,
because they came out and said, hey, it's not our version of Left 4 Dead, it's our take on Far Cry. And I'm like, okay,
oh
that's
yeah.
different. Yeah.
That
So
changes my opinion completely.
yeah. So I'm curious to see what more about that now. If it's like a Far
Yeah,
Cry. Yeah. So yeah,
that's okay.
they've got stuff here that I'm curious about. And then Forza, like I don't really care about the motorsport series anymore. I like the open world stuff. So I'm not excited about that. But Minecraft Legends looks dope.
Yeah, Minecraft
And
Legends looks dope.
Elder Scrolls Online is
It's whatever.
it's a pretty good game if you like
It's
actually
on
get
Game
into it.
Pass too, so like
Yeah,
I can try it.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be on the 25th, which is a Wednesday. So
I kind of wish you hadn't told me Redfall is gonna be more like Far Cry than Left 4 Dead because now I'm like kind of
GamesBeat,
excited for it.
was it GamesBeat? They put out a whole the- fuck,
Yeah,
I
Rock
forgot what
Paper
it
Shotgun
was.
put up a thing too.
Was it Rock Paper Shotgun?
They put up something too. So like a Far Cry like made by Arcane.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that sounds awesome. That actually
yeah.
sounds really fucking cool.
Oh, it's
An open
Games
world, like,
Radar.
yeah,
Games Radar. I'm gonna post a link here. They put out a real long interview or whatever the fuck you want to call it, just a really long article about it. Um, and it got me more excited because I was pretty down on it. I was like, Left 4
yeah,
Dead is just. I'm done with the Left 4 Dead games, man. But this is
yeah.
it sounds like they're doing more than that.
Oh,
So
speaking of which, Anna Cruz has apparently got some pretty big updates, so apparently it's like pretty fun now. So we should probably try that out when we have a chance.
it's leaving Game Pass though
Is
this week.
it?
Yeah,
It is not. You
it is.
lie.
No, it's like it's leaving Game
Bullshit.
Pass.
I'm never gonna play it then. Never mind.
Shouts out to New Jiraiya in the chat. What's up, guys? We do this live on Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube/Discord. Um,
Bums
but
me out. I'm never gonna play it now. Fuck this game.
yeah, well, it might still be on there for now, but I think it's leaving like this week, or once the next update comes, the Monster Hunter update. I think it's leaving then.
a couple games are leaving Game Pass. Nobody Saves the World is leaving Game Pass, so
Yeah.
get on that when you can. Nobody Saves the World's fucking incredible, so get in on that as soon as you can. We got some new some more quickies. Deathverse Let It Die is suspending service pretty soon,
Yeah. So,
which just came out. So
I actually tried to play this
yeah,
and I couldn't even get the fucking game to launch, dude. So,
uh,
that's how bad it is. But they're coming out, so they're not ending it like right now. They're ending it in July,
yeah.
which is weird. But they came out and said like, "Hey guys, look, we can only make so many games in our life, and we don't want this to be the last one we make. So we're ending it, and we're gonna I guess they're like doing a whole like like a Realm Reborn type shit on this. They're like,
Yeah, they're talking about the way they word it. They talk about like re-releasing it later,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is like, okay, if you're gonna are you gonna like re-release like a single player game? So it's not like a live service game, but whatever. Um, but we'll see what happens with it. I never even got to try it. I heard it's actually not that bad. I hear it's actually pretty fun, but
yeah.
the problem with these types of games is that this is like the only game you're supposed to be playing. So if you're trying to juggle this with like Fortnite or any of these other like live service games, like this is gonna get left in dust.
Well, that's the thing. That's the story about these like battle royale games is that they come and kind of just completely they kind of misread the market. Like they just don't
Yeah,
know how to really penetrate the market because there's so many games out there now that are doing the same thing when it comes to battle royale. Even like a melee focused
exactly.
battle royale, you've got like Rumbleverse or like Naraka Blade Point. Is that a battle royale?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. But
It's
yeah,
like the melee shit has just been. It's like even that's not very unique anymore. So
yeah.
the biggest thing this game had going for it was that it was based in the Left 4 Let It Die universe, and that
Which, let's be
universe
honest, it wasn't even like didn't even make that big a splash.
it didn't make that big a splash, but it was at least like to me it was unique enough to get it in my radar. Because that whole universe is pretty fucking cool. Now I don't even think
Yeah,
Suda 51 was involved in this Deathverse thing, so there's that. But I don't know. I think if they can kind of capture some of the magic from the original Let It Die in this, then that would be I'd be interested in it more. But the game is fucking broken. All right, I'll just
yeah,
like I installed it and couldn't even launch this fucking thing. Like it would crash. Like I would get to the menu and be like, press X to continue, and I press X and it would just crash. And I'm like, okay, uninstall. So,
yeah.
but if they're saying like, hey, look, if they come back and they've really like made some significant changes on this, then I'd be interested to check it out again. If they're committed to improving it, then everyone deserves a second chance.
Yeah, I wanted to see what they do. We'll have to see what they do first, though. Let's get into trailers and videos. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl got a new gameplay trailer. This game looks cool, dude. Like,
Yeah, one of the thing about this trailer is that it's dubbed in English, which I think kind
yeah,
of devalues the impact of it a little. But
just a little bit.
game looks great though. It looks incredible.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I can't wait to see what else comes out with it. I've wanted to get into the soccer games forever, but they're kind of jank. So I haven't,
Yeah,
the older games are kind of jank. So it's cool that we got a new one with some much needed quality of life stuff, some modern quality of life stuff.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Are you gonna say something?
Oh, it almost looks like a looter shooter almost.
Almost, yeah. Which I'm okay with. I love me a good looter shooter. A looter shooter with like survival elements, like and some horror stuff. Like, yeah, let's get into it. We also got a look at Witchfire. It got a new gameplay trailer. This game got announced like 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
Eh,
and it looks fucking great.
it does look great. It's from the Flying Wild Hog, the Shadow guys, the Bulletstorm guys.
Do those guys make games, or do they are they like a publisher? Because they have their name attached to a lot of shit. And you're what is your are they
They're
the
developers
developers?
because
They
like
are
Devolver is the publisher,
because
I
Flying
think, for
Wild
that.
Hog didn't they just put out a game? They put out two games. Well, they
Did
just did
they?
like the last Shadow Warrior. They just did what was it that third person action game that people were kind of lukewarm on, but uh
Oh, I know what you're talking about the vampire one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they like have their name attached to a lot of shit. And I'm like, how are you guys? Aren't you guys like a small studio?
Yep. Wikipedia says they are a developer based in Warsaw,
Okay.
Poland. Oh, I guess they're not making. Hold on. I guess they're not working on Witchfire.
4K. Let
Who
me.
worked on Witchfire? Was it? This is the
Oh, it says
Bulletstorm guys, right?
the astronauts. The wait, what did it say? The astronauts. The astronauts. The astronauts. Who are the astronauts?
People can fly. That's who's working on this one.
Oh,
At least they were. I don't think they are anymore. But their name was on it before. Hold on.
yeah. Maybe they had some involvement, or maybe you're just thinking of flying hogs and flying people. You're getting those mixed up.
No, people can fly. Like definitely worked on this because I remember when the trailer came out, it was like, oh, from the developers of What Remains of Edith Finch, and everyone's gone to the Rapture. And then a record scratch is like, and the guys who made Bulletstorm, but it showed all the shooting. That was like one of the first trailers they put out. I don't remember. I don't care.
Yeah.
This game looks incredible still. It's this development has been kind of shitty, so it's good to see like get some more information on it. So you have another game that's been in development for fucking ever. Atomic Heart got a 4K DLSS3 trailer,
Yeah.
and that looks incredible as well, dude. Atomic Heart. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't even want to see anything about this
Yeah, me
anymore.
neither.
I just
It
want to
just looks
play it.
yeah, me too. It was announced like what, back 2017, 2016? Like I waiting for
Yeah.
this game forever. I'm still working at Best Buy when this fucking game got announced, dude. Um yeah, the announcement of this game is older than my marriage. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this looks incredible. I don't want to watch this trailer either. This is also going to be day one on Game Pass, so go check it out. You
Yeah.
know when that drops. This looks like a shock, but better. I'm okay with that. The Mega Man X Corrupted. It's a fan game. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, this guy's been working on this for several years. uh,
It shows. Like this
and
looks
it's
good as
just
fuck.
as one guy. I forgot how long they said that they were working on this, but 2009. At least this guy's been following 14 years. 2008. So, but apparently every time they come out and show it, it looks better and better. Um, yeah, Mega Man X is one of those games I played when I was a kid, and I've got a little soft spot for just like Mega Man X specifically.
I
And
didn't play it till I was older. I was like
uh,
18, I think, when I first played it, and I was like blown away with it.
yeah, just from the soundtrack and the way, just like the movement and shit, just the speed
Oh,
at
the
which you
movement
get.
is so good. It's like it's 1-to-1 whatever you want. Like
Yeah,
it's so tight and responsive. Like if you miss a jump, it's your fault. Like the game gives you so much control over the movement. It's stupid. There's no like cheap jumps in this game. And this looks just as good. I was watching the 1 hour gameplay trailer showing off, and you got to see the beginning with him like jumping from platform to platform,
yeah,
and the way he would like miss it a little bit, but he still had that like that wall grab to like save him. Like
yeah.
there's some cool shit in here.
These Rise as Mega Man Legends. I
I
did
never
play
played
through that
Legends.
recently. That game's not good, but there's a
Yeah,
soft spot. I have a soft spot for it because it's kind of cheesy. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Mega Man X Corrupted. Yeah. Hopefully this gets finished
yeah.
sooner rather than
Hopefully,
later.
hopefully.
But yeah, there's only a couple guys working on it, and they're doing. Yeah, it looks great. So
Yeah, we'll see soon whenever it gets finished. We also got some games releasing January 18th. We got Graze Counter GM. This is to quote the developers here, A refreshing and highly replayable bullet hell style shooter that wants you to play dangerously. Ride the razor's edge of life and death in this high risk, high reward, danger oriented arcade style shooting game.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. But no, this looks cool though. I'm not a huge fan of like bullet hell shooters, but like this looks pretty neat. There's some like bullshit in here that
Yeah, there's a
could be
moment,
fun.
there's a time in my history when I was very into bullet hell shit.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, Death Smiles was a good one. Uh, yeah, these games always look more difficult than they actually are. Sometimes they actually are really difficult. But if you look at your character, there's a small pixel that usually you can look at, and that's where your actual hitbox is. It's not your like whole ship. There's a small pixel that usually glows inside your ship, and that's where your actual hitbox is. So,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that when they play these games, but
I didn't know that.
yeah. And then usually you have a button that you can hold that makes you move slower, and you can kind of navigate through the bullet storm that's coming at you. So a lot of people don't know that as well, but yeah, these games are usually pretty fun. And they usually have very good soundtracks. Yep, and they usually sell them separately, and you can get the soundtrack for this. So I'm sure
This looks cool. Like this looks like a lot of fun actually.
Yeah.
We also got January 19th. We got a space for the Unbound dropping on everything.
I played this.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
during
this.
the demo derby. I played this. It's a cool little chill, like
It's like
little
a point and click
slice of
adventure game.
life. Yeah, like a point and click, but there's a little bit more to it though. It's like you like dive into these like I forget if you're like diving into like people's like dreams or something, but there's like another world that you get like.
And there's like some mystical elements in here that are really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. I think it takes place in like Indonesia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pixel art's like really pretty. I like the pixel art.
Yeah.
This looks cool. We also got Persona 3 Portable releasing on everything. Persona 4 Golden releasing on everything. I'm gonna buy Persona 4 Golden again on Switch, dude. Like I know I am because I love that game. January 20th, we got Fire Emblem Engage releasing on Switch. This isn't like a regular Fire Emblem game, right? This is like a Fire Emblem Heroes type game.
I don't think it's a Heroes. I think it's a real Fire Emblem. I do believe this is a real Fire Emblem.
Looking at like, trying to find some gameplay. The trailer here. Oh yeah, it is. It is a real Fire Emblem. Okay. I think it was a Heroes.
Well, because the name Engage suggests that. Well, Martha's in it. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's why. Because like it has all these like legacy characters in it.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Monster Hunter Rise is also dropping that day on everything: PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. And that's gonna do it for the show, man. It's good to be back. I want to start doing this again pretty regularly, like I used to. But yeah, this is fun. Tell people where they can find us, dude.
Guys, you can go to Gameoverse.com, Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/ what is that? Oh, that's Fire Emblem playing. Go to Gameoverse.com, guys. Gameoverse.com/Discord. Go into Discord, jump in there, talk to us, chat with us, hang out with us.
Yeah.
Go to the YouTube. I've got archived on there. Some good shit. I got archived on there last stream, which was Breakout 13, and then our friend Joan joined me. I played some Apex. I'm very bad at Apex.
That's
I'm
fine.
very
So
bad. We played some Fortnite, and I'm very bad at Fortnite.
I've never played Apex or Fortnite, so I'm sure I suck too.
Never?
Never.
You should. They're pretty fun.
Someone
Fortnite's
tells
pretty
me.
fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yep.
So
Everybody be cool, be safe, be excellent to each other. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
thanks.